Hey, what's up guys? Chase from iDub Hockey here in Montreal. Real excited today because we're gonna check out how the CCM JetSpeed FT1 skate is made from top to bottom. So we're gonna go inside, meet JS Belanger, who is their product category manager of skates, and he's gonna go walk us through. So let's go check it out. Hey JS, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome to Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, a suburb 30 minutes outside of Montreal. We're at CCM's Pro Skate Factory, where we make every single one of our pro skates using the NHL, AHL, junior leagues. So we're here today.
Let's check them out, man.
All right, sounds good. So just so you know, this building's been around for about 50 years. We have a long history of equipment here. I'd say it's been since the launch of the RBZ that we've been solely dedicated to skates. So we used to have protective equipment, skates being manufactured here, and now fully dedicated to pro skates. So we're going to show you today how we make a pro skate. How about
awesome. That? And then maybe you see the life of maybe an FT1, see how it goes?
Maybe an FT1.
All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Sounds good. So we're going to step number one, which is, it's actually quite simple. We're going to the box. Okay. This is where it all begins. And basically what we do is we take the spec sheet for each player and we attribute it to a single box. And somebody is responsible for making sure that we get all the pieces that are required for that player's specifications. So his size, his preferences. So this is what we start here. The pieces are being assembled as we speak. As you can already tell, this is going to be a JetSpeed FT1 that we're going to put together. Right. There's still some pieces missing here, so those are going to be assembled, and then we're going to get the construction of the skate started in just a moment.
All right, and what are we starting with? The tongue, I'm guessing?
We're going to start with the tongue, exactly.
Let's go check it out.
All right. So we're here where the tongue is getting assembled. So basically she had a look at what the specifications of the tongue were for this particular player and is now going about following those specifications. So you can see here that it's a single felt, similar to what you find in a skate at retail at Ice Warehouse. So this player specifically wanted a very similar tongue. You see the three layers, you actually see them in front of you there. So you've got the felt piece, you've got the foam underneath, and then you've got the lace bite protector on the outside there. So,
and if you had to maybe relate it to one of your retail skates right now, what would you call that? The JetSpeed, the current?
The current 2015 JetSpeed has the exact same tongue construction as what she's making right here.
Sounds like he has a good taste in tongue.
Absolutely, exactly. That means we've got good tongues.
There you go. So where are we heading next?
After that, we're going to have a look at how the rest of the boot is assembled before we put all of these pieces together.
Sweet.
So we're here to now at the stitching stage. You can see that she's working on the tendon, and she's going to make her way down to the eyelet area to really start assembling and fastening the facing area of the skate. So you'll see that there's a couple machines she needs to use in order to complete all of the stitching around the boot at this stage, because as you can see, a lot of rounded, curved edges to a skate.
Unique angles that you just have to have unique machines for, right?
That's exactly it. I mean, when you really think about it, a skate is almost is an unusual piece of equipment. Yeah. It's really stiff. It's rounded. It needs to be durable. 200-pound players are going to be skating on it, so it's just such a unique piece of equipment that it requires a lot of human attention. As you can see, it's a very handmade product because of how it's going to be used and how durable it needs to be and how high performance it needs to be.
I mean, not just at retail, but especially for these pro players too, just so much attention to detail, because you can totally see why you have to, just like you said, 200-pound strong players, or even the younger 180-pound junior players. So.
Absolutely. And I mean, what's interesting about skate making in general and how we make our skates is, frankly, the amount of attention and handmade work that there is for a pro skate is the exact same as the ones that we're using for retail, frankly, because we're offering a near identical product at retail as we are to pros. When we talk about our one-piece technology, whether that be the FT1, whether that be the SuperTax, there isn't much changing between a pro spec and the one that's being found on icewarehouse.com. So the same amount of work is being done there.
That's awesome. That's huge for the retail customers.
Absolutely, they're getting a lot of value.
Yep, and you can really see that translate even into NHL, usage, and as well as how well you guys have really been doing the last couple of years, just kind of taking over retail by storm.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of that is commendable to the work that our engineers have been doing. They've been tasked with finding ways to make skates lighter and more responsive and better fitting, and they've come with a solution which has just been so exciting for some someone like me or anybody working for CCM to really talk about.
For sure. And then, you know, even, I mean, I consider myself a retail customer too, because, you know, I'm using the Super Tax and whatnot, and it's something that you can just totally notice a difference in your guys' skates in the last couple of years, and it's real exciting to see where you guys are going to go forward with, you know, where you're at now.
So we're now on the final stage of the stitching around the collar of the boot. Again, as you can see, it's very robust materials. She's piercing through a composite boot, so you need some very, very robust equipment. Frankly, this is one of my favorite parts, especially when I look at the FT1. The design we brought to the JetSpeed FT1, we made a very bold design, a bold statement when it comes to the design of the skate, especially with the tendon guard. And frankly, we wanted that skate that players were proud to wear. That want to be noticed on the ice. You know, we've had 10 players in the NHL wearing the FT1 since the beginning of the season, and you could tell they're wearing it because that tendon guard stands out so much. So, you know, we've got some more subtle designs in terms of the rib core and the Super Tax. The JetSpeed FT1 is for that player that's fast and wants everybody to know it.
Absolutely, nice and aggressive.
Exactly.
So now, compared to the first generation of JetSpeeds, how does the tendon guard and the FT1 differ?
You'll see that this one has a little bit more flexibility. So by making it less stiff and actually giving it a little bit more responsiveness and a little bit more give, you're able to increase the durability of the product. So sometimes making something stiffer increases the durability, whereas at times actually making it more flexible is what allows it to be a little bit more durable. So you'll see that with the JetSpeed FT1.
And then, as far as this custom skate goes, what do we see different from what you'd find on a retail version?
So far, you wouldn't see too much that's different. The only part that this player is asked about is to have an extra padding on their comfort pad, the smooth contour around the high edge of the boot. That's really the only difference between what we have so far in the boot and what you'd find at retail.
Awesome.
So the next stage we're at is we're going to assemble the liner inside the material, as well as the foams. That basically what we have right now is a composite boot.
Right.
If a player sticks his foot in there, it's going to hurt. So right now we need to put those foams in place, make sure we have those nice big comfy ankle pads, and then we're going to place the liner on top of that so that it has a nice smooth finish for the player's foot.
And then after that, you just want to make sure it's all nice and
pressed
cured
together.
in there.
Exactly. So that those materials are going to be pressed together to make sure it's nice and seamless.
Yep.
You know, natural looking, and when the player fits inside, all the softest spots are at the right part of his foot. So the stage we're at now, you can see that the liner is completely assembled to the skate. It's been stitched all around the inside.
Yep.
No folds. No, this is exactly how the player wants it, perfectly connected to the skate. And we've also started the hole punching process so that we can have the eyelets connected to the skate.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going to get that completed here. So next up, now you really see the boot coming together. So you can see how many different hands have touched the skate, just because there's so many steps in making a high-end skate. But now we're having the toe cap and tongue, which have been stitched together.
Yep.
And now we're making sure to assemble that to the one-piece boot. So a unique way ever since we launched the one-piece boot to assemble a toe cap and tongue. You see that we have to actually pierce rivets through the sides of the quarter package. And that's the best way to assemble it for a one-piece boot. So it's, from an assembly standpoint, it's more durable, and from a performance standpoint, it makes a lot more sense. We've got very solid materials to make sure there's no energy loss.
How does that differ from a traditional two-piece, or what you maybe even find in the Ultra Tax or the 390?
Absolutely. So a traditional two-piece will use stitching in general. So what you'll see, you'll have the plastic piece and the quarter package come together and stitched. Okay. Now we use solid rivets. You know, much better performance, better weight, and overall longer durability.
Awesome.
Yeah. So now you can see that most of the boot has been taken care of.
Whoa, what are those over here?
Oh, no, we can't show you that yet. Not yet, not for a few more months. So let's go to the holder and blade assembly now. Once we reach this stage, that's when we know the boot's almost done. The skate's it's an exciting time every time. So you can see that the holder is being assembled, riveting to the boot. So that keeps that holder nice and solid. Make sure that, again, there's no twisting or anything of that sort. So that's being assembled right now. And you'll see that we're very close to being done here.
So what are we lacking? Just what, laces, maybe an insole?
That's about it.
There we go, let's go check them out.
All right. So you can see here that now the final steps should just put in a basic insole. Players will also receive the Curex insole of their choice. So some of them have a high arch, medium arch, low arch. They'll receive that as well with the skate. And then afterwards, laces a lot. We get the question often, do pros get wax laces? Actually, what we do is we put regular cotton laces because when they heat the skates, once it gets to them, we don't want the wax to get all over their fingers. So what we do is we use these laces for when they receive the skates. Some players like to keep them, and then many of them end up transitioning over to wax laces so that they have that nice secured fit whenever they hit the ice.
Lace them up.
Exactly.
Do you get pro requests for maybe a tax lace on a jet speed skate or anything like that?
Generally, the pros are very, very traditional. So
Yeah.
what they want is a white lace with a little bit of black trim on it, and that's about it. They're not asking for a jet speed or a tax type lace. They want, they're very traditional as we know.
For sure. A little picky too.
Exactly.
So after we finished up with the laces, is this ready to hit the ice? I mean, we obviously got to get them sharpened, but...
Yep, we got to sharpen them. So, usually the equipment manager will take care of that because players are very specific with what type of profile that they like when it comes to their blades. She'll throw them in a box and then it'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Well, JS, man, I appreciate you giving us a tour around here.
All right, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'll see you next year. And for you guys at home that want to check out more of these jet speed skates, make sure you go to icewarehouse.com. See you, man.